So I think in an effort to continue to be transparent in this process, I think one of the things that I'm realizing is that, and one of the things that I've been trying to learn through this process um, is this concept of the only way out is to go through. And obviously, depending on each person, it's up to you to determine, I guess, what it looks like going through whatever situation you might be dealing with. I think in my particular case, um, I guess I'll be a bit honest about kind of what the situation is and I guess how I'm navigating this process of getting through it. So, as of right now, I'm 23, Cal Berkeley student, and some of the things that I've been trying to figure out that I'm kind of struggling with now is just like, um, and I've been trying to get to the point where it's not like too stressing, on my mental and stuff. But as of right now, I need to like, find a roommate to live with for next year. I've been having issues with that. Just people either being like flaky or not, being super engaging in terms of if they're committing or not. I'm having issues with that because the lease that I have for this current place, it ends the end of this month, May, which is like in a few days. So I've been wanting to re-sign just because this place is furnished. Um, it's a low enough rent that I can manage. Other places are much more expensive, and obviously I don't want to let go, right? Um, so that being number one, find a roommate. Number two being keeping this place, kind of what I was just saying. Wanting to keep this place for next year. Good rent, furnished, all great things. It'll make it easier that transition from when I leave. I won't have as much stuff. I won't have to buy much more stuff. Um, Number three being finding a way to pay for rent next year if I can secure this place. Um, I'm hoping I can save as much money as I can during the summer. That's the plan. That's the goal. We're gonna see how that works, how that happens. But the plan is to save as much money as I can and to pay for the first semester of my second year. The second semester, I'm not really sure. Um, and I'm gonna try my best to figure that out. Um, but obviously, I don't have the solutions to these problems now. But I think in wanting to turn the camera on and document, the goal for me is is to kind of focus on what I said before. Is that the only way out is through, and this can be any situation. Obviously, you know, not a soothsayer. I can't tell the future. Not a time traveler. I don't have those abilities, but I I want to try to remain optimistic as much as I can, and I want to use this as a way to, I guess, show that I have faith in this optimism. Um, and I want to save this so that I can look back on this and realize where I was, how far I've come, um, and just like being able to see the work and understand and know the work that I put in to get into a better situation. So in my case, to go out is to get out of a situation, you have to go through it. I just have to be very intentional, very deliberate about the actions that I take to kind of overcome some of the stuff that I'm dealing with. So in terms of finding a new roommate, just reaching out to more people, um, asking questions you're afraid to ask, just essentially putting yourself out there and, you know, not being afraid of rejection. I think that's the most important thing that I can tell myself to do. Number two is just being very transparent. with my landlord about wanting to resign this place. That it's something that I really want to do, and seeing if we can work out some kind of agreement, some kind of get to some kind of understanding. Um, that's the goal for that. Number three, getting rent and stuff. Honestly, the first goal is in this process, I think, is to create sub goals, um, intermediate goals that I can um, put in place of this overarching goal. So if I think that I'll have enough to pay for a fall semester, then I think I need to put pen to paper and make sure that I can do that. And that if that is for sure something that's going to happen, to be sure of it, and then start planning for, the next part and thinking of ways in which I can, earn more money. Um, how much would I have to work during the fall semester to be able to like offset the cost of spring? How much is there an opportunity to do overtime over the summer? Is an opportunity to, do art on the side? Like finding ways to overcome that deficit of the spring semester. And basically just like breaking it down step by step of what I can do. Because I think we get so caught up on the future. We get so caught up on just like um, how much there is to do. And I think we forget that there's 24 hours in a day that we do have a lot of time at our disposal. And I know in some people's situations, that time is taken up by a lot of other things. But I know for right now, in my case, like with this semester being done, with school being done, and my internship not starting till June 2nd, I do have, just time where I can successfully navigate different things in different situations. And I think I want to take the time to do that and realize that I do have 24 hours. Of course, I sleep 8, then 16 awake. It's a good bit of time. And I need to use that time effectively, to begin to start on these things that worry me, that stress me out, that, take up a lot of space in my mental. Um, and I think it would be a disservice not to plan. Um, but I think you should plan in a way that's effective. Don't plan in a way that continues to stress you out more. Um, think of it as a one step thing. Like, don't think of all 10 steps at once. Just think of the first step. And don't even be aware of step 2 through 10. Just be aware of the first step. And then after the first one is done, move to the second one, and then move to the third one, and so on. I think, like, literally one of the videos that I watched it was titled The Art of Not Thinking. And I think that's been like the biggest reason for my essentially like analysis paralysis, just like getting stuck in all the things that I feel like I need to have solved. I need to have solved like right this second. And I think it's doing a large disservice, to me. And I think it keeps me from enjoying, this time that, I've worked so hard to get to. Like I've done everything I needed to do for the semester. I'm able to rest. And it's like I should rest. Um, and if there's things that I want to do and there's ways in which I want to be productive, then I should do that too. But in a way that doesn't compromise, my mental state and my ability to rest and continue to be myself through this process. Um, and I think that's one of the things that I want to try to figure out more. The art of not thinking, the art of not being afraid to just hit record and start talking, the art of, not um, not putting limits on yourself, not having disbelief in what you want to achieve. Even just this thing that I'm trying to create with content creation, like who knows where it could go. I'm hoping it could go somewhere far. I'm not really sure, but I want to not put limits on it. I want to know that this can be anything that I want it to be. And I want to be sure of that. But I know the first step to getting to that point, and to getting out of where I am now, is to go through door by door. If you were tasked with going from one place to another, but it was separated by 100 doors, there's no way you can go through all 100 doors at once. You have to go through a door at a time. And if someone told you that if you go through a door at a time, you'd eventually make it, but you didn't know how many doors, like, would you be able to do it? Do you trust yourself to have the patience, you know, to be able to go through every single door, no matter how many it is? Do you trust yourself to be able to do that, knowing that that final door is where all your goals and dreams and everything that you aspire are? They're there, they're waiting. And I would like to believe that I have the patience, to be able to go set foot through every door, um, and to not have doubt. That's what I want for myself. Thank you.